Lovely stuff. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Welcome Coming Home to You network group. I have Derek Raymond with me, and he is a very exciting man, and he has a brand new group which has been going for the last couple of months, and it's flying along. He's doing very well. So, Derek, first off, welcome. And
Thank you. It's great
what's
to
the
be here.
name of your group? Lovely, thank
Yeah,
you. What's the name of your group, and why did you pick it, and what inspired you to form the group and to start doing this?
yeah. So the name of the group is Nourish, Heal, and Thrive,
Lovely.
and I call it a health and weight loss journey beyond the scale. So it's more than just the numbers on the scale when it comes to losing weight and getting healthy. It's all about your mindset and changing your belief and creating healthy habits that are sustainable because most people just jump into a diet or exercise program and you can't keep it up. And, we try to do it in a way where we can help you sustain it for as long as you want to keep doing it.
Brilliant. And have you had health issues yourself that inspired you to go down this route, or did you need to lose weight?
Yeah, yeah. So my story is in 2019, I was at a really low point in my life. I was working my dream job. I'm an animator. I work in film and television and worked on
Brilliant.
many things that people have probably seen. So I was really excited, with what I was doing, but I just wasn't enjoying what I was, you know, my life, I guess, in general. And I was overweight, and that year I was constantly getting sick. Like every month it was something new, and I had always been the type of person that never got sick. Like maybe a
Right.
cold like every 2 years or something, but that year all the time. And, like I said, I was miserable. So what I decided to do was to get over this was go on this amazing epic vacation. And I scheduled 5 weeks in East Africa. And I
Wow.
trekked with the gorillas in Uganda, and I went on safaris in Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And I camped overnight in the Serengeti, and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I went to the top, and I ended the whole thing in Zanzibar with a couple days on the beach. And it
That's
was just as epic as I planned. I enjoyed every minute. When I got home, though, I hated my pictures. I was embarrassed to show people the pictures with me in them because I just did not like the way I looked. I was overweight, and you could tell I was not a happy person, and that was not the
right.
vibe that I wanted to give people. Even though I knew I was enjoying myself, I just looked unhappy. So,
Okay.
so I said, okay, now I really need to make a change. And I found a fitness coach, and he helped me with my diet and exercise, and it was going great. I was always kind of the guy that worked out, but I wasn't really that consistent. So he got me more consistent. And I always thought I ate healthy, but I wasn't really eating what was right for
Mhm.
me. So now I got more consistent with what I was eating and eating better foods and that kind of thing. But it was kind of even though things were going well for me, it was kind of a slow kind of progress. And
Right.
then I found an energy healer. And the energy healer helped me change my mindset and shift my subconscious beliefs. And then once we started doing that, the weight just started melting off. I
Right.
lost almost 50 pounds, which is like 20, 25
Yeah.
kgs. And yeah, that was within like 6 months. And I've kept the weight off. And now I want to help, and I love the energy healing bit so much that I got certified. I've become one of the more advanced students. It's called Awakening Dynamics with Brent Michael Phillips. But anyway, I became one of his most advanced students. And now I help other people, with my knowledge of diet and exercise, and the changing of your mindset and your beliefs, I help other people get healthy and release the weight.
Brilliant. What a story. I'd imagine trekking through Europe or not through Africa, that would have been a mind-opening experience as well. And because I mean, coming from the USA, going to East Africa, that must have been a big culture shock. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your adventures in Africa?
Yeah, it was definitely different. I had all these tours booked, so I was always with people. I was never really by
Okay,
myself. And yeah, it was definitely different than what I was used to, but I guess I kind of expected it. Um, so I had, we did a lot of camping and I knew things weren't going to be, fancy, five-star hotels. So, I had a great time. I started in Uganda and I uh, did some of the city tour type stuff in Kampala.
okay.
And then I went out to the west part of the country into the mountains and did
With
a
the gorillas
tour.
there.
We saw the gorillas.
Mhm.
Uh, got tagged really close to the gorillas. Actually, they charged at us a couple times, which was kind of scary. And then
Yeah,
I did some safaris there. Did like a river safari. Also did a chimpanzee trek. So we saw the chimps, but they stayed up high in the trees, so we
right.
didn't really get close to them.
They were
And
looking at you.
yeah, they were watching us for sure. And
Yeah, yeah,
I had a good camera with some good zoom on it, so I did get some good pictures out of it. Yeah,
yeah.
and then I went to Kenya then, did some safaris there, and we went into Tanzania and, camped in the Serengeti and the Ngorongoro crater and just had a great time. And the end of the tour was we did Mount Kilimanjaro, so that was like a six
Mhm.
day trek up and
Back
down,
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that was fun. And then yeah, like I said, I ended the whole thing in Zanzibar on
Mhm.
the beach.
And Zanzibar, that has some very interesting information. Zanzibar, the land of spices, and
Yeah.
the last route for the slave traders. So very interesting. Did I find one thing like trekking through mountains or through jungles or trekking through somewhere different. It always has, for me anyway, it always has an opening experience where I learn a lot more about myself than I wouldn't have thought previously. Did you have any experiences like that? Any aha moments about yourself?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't that self-aware when I was doing that
Okay,
trip, right? It was before I got into all the energy work. So I was kind of in this place where I was always in my head.
right.
Um, and so I think I did have some aha moments, which kind of was stirring up the idea that I needed to get the fitness coach and do something different,
Yeah,
but I wasn't aware enough at that time.
yeah. I suppose like that too. It was affecting your subconscious without you really being conscious about it.
Yeah,
It's one thing when you're out trekking, even if it is within a group. It's I think once you're out in nature, it naturally has that, and it naturally stills up this stuff to get healthy, to get fit, and
yeah,
you're looking around and seeing other people who are maybe have a lot of energy or looking good and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, there was a point I was with a group and we were going up Mount Kilimanjaro and one guy there was one there was two other guys that were always talking about fitness and working out.
Hmm.
And I always exercised, but didn't not include me in their conversation at all.
Okay,
And that was kind of a moment where I'm like, oh, I don't look like I exercise or,
right.
anymore. So,
You're not
that was
fitting in.
part of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brilliant. So with the group, tell us a little bit more about your group, of what it is that you're offering to people, or what it is that you would like to instill in other people.
Yeah, so the group it's great. It's growing. Like we're getting 150 new members like every week and
Yeah.
It's exploding and really exciting. And what I'm doing is similar to what you're doing here. We're interviewing people. I have coaches, I have healers, I have, fitness experts, I have trainers, nutritionists, all kinds of different people to help you with your health and getting healthy and
Yeah.
mostly a lot of holistic type healers and um it's been really cool. I think I have some doctors actually coming on, so we'll have
Oh, lovely.
some medical experts actually
Yeah.
talking. And the whole idea of the group is to just be inspired to get
Mm.
healthy and to help you release weight. I've had some people that are just general, people in the group come on and they're sharing their story about, how they uh, got healthy and they improved their body, and that's been inspiring and great to hear.
Brilliant.
And I had somebody actually didn't even know what to say, but just wanted to support me. So he
Mm.
came on and talked about his weight issues that he's had for most of his life. And he said it was it was like therapeutic to just come on and talk about it.
Yeah.
So that was great. So we're having everybody and anyone that wants to interview come on and we'll
Brilliant.
talk to them. And if they want to share whatever they're promoting or whatever they're doing, they can share that. If they want to just share their story, or if they need some extra support in in whatever they're struggling with, we're here for that too.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So listeners, take note now that Derek is inviting you to connect with him, and if there's any of those issues that you'd like help with, even if you'd just like to have a little chat and find out more. I mean, he's a very interesting guy, and definitely somebody who's been to East Africa would have a lot of stories uh, that he's probably forgotten about them, but they're back in the background there somewhere,
Yeah,
you
they're
know.
here somewhere.
There you go. So, Derek, you mentioned that you like to go to the gym. Is there, for people now who've never gone to the gym before, or who are interested in going and say, "Oh, I need to start going to the gym," what sort of advice would you give them? Somebody who's never been there before.
Yeah, so well, first of all, I'll say, especially when you're starting out, nobody wants to go to the gym. No one says, I can't wait to go to the gym today, as at least in the beginning. So just go and, take it easy. You don't have to go and lift, 200 pounds your first day out there,
Yeah,
right? Go take it easy, go slow. Just do body weight exercises. Maybe get a trainer if you don't know what you're doing. Um, and you don't necessarily have to start, if you've never done resistance training, you don't have to go to the gym right away. There's a lot of things you can do at home just, with your body weight or with items around the house. I'm sure you can find YouTube videos on ways to do that. But resistance training is very underrated. They've been doing studies that have shown that the people that live the longest are actually the strongest. So your
right.
strength is actually directly correlated with how long you're going to live. So if you want to
Brilliant.
live longer, then you want to do some resistance training to build up some muscle. And especially, as we get older, you want to be able to, what if you, fall and you need to catch yourself, right? You
Yeah,
want to hold yourself, be able to hold yourself up when you're going up and down stairs, right? You might want to be able to carry your grandchildren, lift them up. So lots, maybe even open a jar, right?
yeah.
So there's lots of reasons to maintain your strength and just naturally our strength declines as we get older. So we need to be training right now for our older years.
I really use great bit of advice there. Now, everybody just start with where you are. You don't necessarily have to go to the gym. Pick up some items that you have floating around. Just have bottles of water or something that you can use as weights. Cans of soup, cans of beans. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of things that we can use. They is it we talk about food. I mean, food is a big no-no area for a lot of people, or a big subject that there's so much. It's going to the shops now where a lot of stuff is processed or is being sprayed, is there how would you go about shopping, or is there any special way that you're more mindful of shopping that everybody else might not be too familiar with?
Well, diet is a bad word these days. People don't
Yeah,
like that word. So we want to reframe that to just, eat better foods or something that works for you. And that's another slow process. You take it one day at a time. Just have one meal be better than the next. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to, jump onto the latest diet trend.
yeah,
But I would say, when it comes, obviously we don't want to eat all these chemicals, but you do the best you can, right?
yeah,
Having some non-organic broccoli is better than having a donut,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, so, we take it one step at a time as best we can. I would say, protein, people need more protein in their diet. So just get as much protein as you can and supplement, also have vegetables. And, the carbs and fat will probably come into play
Somewhere like that. Yeah,
if you just focus on the protein and the vegetables.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So there you are. So listeners, choose wisely, take small steps, and do whatever it is you can. But most importantly, move. Make a choice, make a decision, and start slowly, and then build on it. And of course, as I said before, reach out to Derek and his group, because I'm sure they have plenty of information there now that will be a benefit to you and that can help you to get started. So Derek, is there anything that you'd like to leave our listeners with? Any one bit of advice or little
Yeah.
nugget?
Yeah, sure. I find that it all starts with self-love,
Mm.
and it's really hard. I know. I've been there. It's hard to love yourself when you don't like what you see in the mirror. So, you know, another place to take small steps is to slowly find things about you, whether maybe it's your nose, maybe it's your eyes, maybe it's your finger. Find something about you that you love, that you can appreciate and be grateful for every day,
Yeah.
and slowly allow that self to become loving yourself so you can improve your body and move forward.
Beautiful. Love that. Viewers, reach out to Derek if there's something there that you'd like to find more about. I'm sure Derek is just there eagerly waiting, and he'll be able to help you with a lot of different things. And love yourself. That's a great bit of advice that we all need to have more of that. So, viewers, thank you very much for being here, for watching. Derek, thank you very much for showing up. You've loads of information, and you've got a wonderful group. We wish you every success in the future and in the now. So I'm just going to stop the recording now,
Thank you.
and